Back on track, and welcome to part 2 of the wood lathe build. Now it's time to build one of the most crucial parts of the wood lathe, the tailstock. Let's begin with the tailstock base and the tailstock clamping system. First I need something to clamp the tailstock in place, and in lack of a name, let's call it the jaws, and I want to make the jaws, which slide underneath here, out of a piece of cold rolled steel. These Milwaukee saw blades are the most reliable I've ever seen, but man, the weld seam is horrific. Here are the clamping jaws. I had to do a little bit of filing, but not much though, and they fit right away. I have a little bit of protrusion here, but that's on purpose because I want to have a lot of meat for the internal threads. More hardocks, but due to the never-ending lockdown I have to use what I have. Okay, let's go. I know, I look like an idiot, but man, they are great. Oh, what a mess. But things are coming together. And here comes the tricky part. Welding without too much distortion. Probably not the most beautiful welds I have ever shown to the world, but I think they will do. Now it's time for grinding. Perfect. And I got lucky. No distortion at all. Next comes the guides and the bolt holes. But first I have to get these excavator tracks ready for shipping. I left the ends open so that you can see what's going on inside. Here is the clamp. Here is my threaded handle thingy, and I have added the spring so that the clamp does not rely only on the gravity. And with this knob here I can clamp the tailstock in place, and of course I will close the ends so that no sawdust can go into. Is it overcomplicated? Yes, of course it is, but that's how we Germans are. The clamps work fine. Rock solid. And now let's make the guides and the end caps. Here are the guides, welded in place, and heavy, with a perfect fit, no play, that's important. And now I think I can close this hose. Perfect. I bought on eBay a live center with a Morse taper 2. I paid less than 20 euros for this one, so cheap, but it looks solid. And I bought a adapter, Morse taper 2 to Morse taper 3, and this will be the business end of the tailstock. I want to incorporate somehow this adapter into my tailstock so that I can slide and move actually this thing, and I have a Morse taper 2 to use accessories like this. So that will be interesting how I solve that. But first, the guy who does the metal turning for me got sick, and so I have to find another solution, find a workaround. And what I found was this. It's a pipe fitting, and it fits perfect on here, so I can press it in with my hydraulic press, and it also fits snugly in this pipe. So I think I will go with this configuration. Not a perfect solution, but since I'm running out of supply lines, this will have to do. Running pretty true already. Nice. I had to make a sleeve to compensate an error of 1 millimeter, and this notch here is where the weld seam of the pipe goes. Perfect fit. All you professional machinists out there, close your eyes. Hey, not that bad actually. And I can press it in if I want to. First, I have to drill the holes for the wedge to go through, because using the wedge is the only way to get the live center out. Damn it! And no, I'm not building a proper mill to do things like that. Poor man's mill. Perfect. And I've drilled 2 more holes for welding. Welding a Morse cone, this could cost me some subscribers. Even though I butchered the hell out of it, it worked out way better than I have ever expected. I put 3 layers of masking tape on. I hope that's enough. Now I try to spread the heat as best as I can. So here are some parts of the quill, and even though I welded it carefully, bit by bit, I had some issues with distortion, but I managed to get it right. Next step is the spindle, and for this I want to use a nut and a threaded rod. M20. This should hold up a very long time, and this bolt stops it from spinning inside the pipe. At least I hope. Now I need a handle, a locking bolt, and a bolt for adjusting the play. So as I said, there are 2 bolts. One puts a little bit of pressure to the quill, so virtually I can adjust the play and lock it, and the other bolt is where I can lock the quill, so I need some kind of knob here. So here's the finished quill handle. And here is my locking bolt to lock it. And believe it or not, guys, but this thing is pretty much 2 days worth of labor Off camera I'm preparing a base plate where I can bolt the lathe onto. It is 15 millimeters hard ox, so very hard to drill. That's why I welded bolts onto the plate. Joe? The machine is on its massive base now. Could be tricky to get the paintbrush in, but now it's too late. And the next step is to finish the tailstock. Next comes the thing which goes in between here and here, so to lift it up to the proper height. Looks good to me. It's a little bit too high, but I think I will weld it here and grind off some material here. That's what I'm talking about. And again, I'm using my ruler jig here to check if the quill is parallel to the bed. I'm also checking the side-to-side tuning. Everything goes to plan so far. I have a little bit of a distortion on the quill, so I can feel more resistance now. That's the reason why I welded only on the inside, not on the outside. Could be a little bit of a problem when it comes to weld the bracings on. Here in between I want to have bracings. Not sure about that, because as I said, of the distortion issue. But other than that, it works so far. This time I will use TIG instead of stick welding, and I hope I can get away with less distortion. Here it is, and I'm not fully welding it because I'm experiencing a bit of a binding already. And if one of you guys has a magic trick up in the sleeve to avoid distortion, please leave me a comment. Perfect. So let's plow on with the tool rest. Sorry guys, I couldn't resist. Man, that's awesome.